I gotta be glad to be back. Feel good to be alive, I got my family back. Because he holds it all together, got my family intact. Don't get it twisted if the consequence for tragedy lasts.
Into the power. Listen, like I was telling you guys, Jesus taught using parables because he didn't want anybody to miss it. He wanted everybody to understand what he was saying, because it was so very important that we took something away from it. He said to those Jews which believed on him, if you continue in my word, then are you my disciples indeed. Okay, he said continue, right? Continue means to remain in place or abide. Remain in place or abide. That's what the word continue means. Okay. Now, like I said, I like to play with the words. Another form of that word continue is continuity. Continuity. Now, continuity is also an electrical term. And this is what it means. In order for these lights that you see to work, there is a power source, right? And there is wires connecting these lights to this power source. Now, there has to be some sort of continuity, meaning they have to touch. So those wires touch those lights, and those wires touch that power source. Okay, so continuity, and that's a continuous or connected whole, a complete circle. Now, Jesus told us that if we continue, meaning if we have continuity with him, or a constant connection to him. If we are constantly connected to him, then are we his disciples indeed. Okay, now as I meditated on that thing, I started saying, wow, okay, God, I need constant connection with you, or continuity with you, or I need to be one with you, or I need to stay in touch with your word. Okay, I started thinking about that, and I started thinking about electricity. Okay, if there's too much resistance in a line, then you won't get the proper voltage at your device. So now I started thinking about that, and I started applying, looking at my life. I said, you know what? At one point, I lived in a particular way, and I realized that some of the things that I did was outside of God's will, and that was the equivalent of resistance. It was the equivalent of resistance. Even though God sits in heaven and he wants to bless all of us, he wished that none of us should die, but that we would have life and have life more abundantly. But because of resistance, something that's interrupting that continuity, it was not allowing me to get the full blessings from God. Now, I found out that a light can still work. A light can still work with resistance in it. Now, the voltage may drop, meaning you'll get voltage, but not what you're supposed to have. And I started thinking about that thing. I said, hold on, man. I love God. I love God, but how come in my life, why did I continue to bump into brick walls? Why did I continue to fail at whatever I put my hand to? Why did I find myself incarcerated over and over again? And I found out it was the resistance in my line. I did not have a clear connection to God. There was no real continuity. There was some interference in the line. And I'm here.